Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be unboxing Great Western Trail 2nd Edition. This was somewhat of an impulse buy of mine. I have always wanted to try Great Western Trail, knowing that I would be using a solo variant created by just a BGG user and posted. However, when I learned that Great Western Trail 2nd Edition was going to be coming out in the near future, I held off on trying to find a 1st edition, knowing that this one was going to include a variation of the solo variant created by the BGG users. So I think that's really awesome that Alexander Pfister and Plan B Games recognized how popular that variant was, went out and worked with that individual, or I think it's multiple individuals, to really create something that could be in mass production. So we'll be taking a look at that as well as all of the rest of the components for Great Western Trail 2nd Edition. But full disclosure, I don't know a ton about this game other than the fact that it's a heavy Euro, but it's got the deck building mechanic. So it's kind of got that hybrid feel, which is similar to, say, Lost Ruins of Arnak or Viscounts of the West Kingdom. And I'm really just excited to dive into this one with really kind of no expectations, which is nice. Sometimes you spend so long staring at a Kickstarter for upwards of a year plus that you have such high expectations, and then the things don't really meet your expectations. But we'll see how things work here. All right, we've got a little Plan B Games catalog. Azul, obviously, at the front. Century is a excellent trilogy. I don't really know Equinox. Camel Up is a fun one. Junk Art's a fun family game. And so from what they have said, they're turning this into a trilogy now. And so for the next 3 years, essentially, they're going to come out with a different version. And I'm not sure if these are going to be different to the point where you would want all 3 of them, unless you were a big collector and super into the game. But it will be interesting to see what the difference is between standard Great Western Trail and Great Western Trail Argentina and then New Zealand. But just know that that's what their plans are. I've never tried Alma Mater or Coimbra, but I've heard some excellent things about the game, and then that's about it. So they got a fair amount of really popular games, but they're not a powerhouse. All right, so here we have the nice big instruction manual. I'm going to point out a few of the things that I know are upgraded for the 2nd edition. One of which is the character artwork here has been updated a little bit to be more diverse. They've also, these outlaw tiles, which you'll see on the board, go right about here. I'm pretty sure used to be like Native American tiles or Indian tiles. And so to be more politically correct, they went with the outlaws. A big thing they're promoting with the game is that your player color is denoted by a hat that you stick on a like a gray colored meeple. Also, they have given you these bags to draw your tiles out of. You can see the backs of the tiles are marked with 1, 2, and 3. And from what I've heard from people, this is a huge quality of life upgrade that they included in the game. Supposedly there's new artwork for all of the cattle cards, making them look more artsy, more realistic. There's also this cemental variant of cattle. Again, I'm not super familiar with the game, so I'm not really sure how that works, but this is something that's new to 2nd edition. And I believe they've also added some station master tiles. So there used to be a certain number, but they've maybe doubled that number here in this version, and I think there's 2 additional buildings added somewhere in here. And then obviously down here at the bottom, this is what we're most excited about, is the solo mode components playing against Sam. So other than that, there's a fair amount of text here, but there's some pictures. I guess maybe they didn't want it to get too big, but I would have much rather seen like this picture be bigger, and I don't so much need this black and white picture here. you know, or make this picture a little bit bigger and, you know, fill up this space down here. Just stuff that I would like to see. I like having visual graphics, but I don't like it when they're super tiny. And it's harder to see the graphics than it is the words. There's a decent amount of words here, so we'll see. I will definitely let you know during the playthrough how heavy this Euro truly is. And to my knowledge, yep, so end of the game, the Cemental variant, and then that's it, just some credits on the back. Okay, general notes and special cases. Then we have an entirely fresh rule book, which really is just about one pamphlet here on how to run the solo AI Sam. So here's Sam's actions, and then we have an appendices, which is nice. So this is going to cover all of the building tiles, private buildings A, private buildings B, and other actions. Okay, now as with any Euro, there's a lot of cardboard. So yeah, I mean, I know these are buildings, I know these are outlaws, I know these are hazard tiles. This appears to be money, and these are people I'm pretty sure you can hire. I'm not sure what his occupation is. And for the most part, there you can see the 1s, 2s, and 3s. They go in their particular bags. All of the buildings are double-sided, so there's an A side and a B side. And these feel really nicely, the cutouts are really nicely done. It feels like I'm just barely pressing on some of these and we're popping some of them out. So here's some more. Could have done something with this. Why not just create 2 additional Station Master tiles? Never understood that. I guess ink does cost money at the end of the day, but you would think that 2 little tiles wouldn't be break at the bank. Yeah, see, this one just barely popped out in my hand. But that's good. I like it when they just pop right out. They're not going to get torn or ripped. Ooh. All right. 3, 3, 3, 2 plus. I think this is with the Cemental variant. This is for the solo variant. I know these are like player order cards or something like that, but I'm not really sure how they are incorporated. Okay, and then the board.
All right, so here is the board. Again, it's just single-sided. It's just black on the other side. And, you know, you can see lots of spots for buildings and spots for outlaws down here. I will push the board up here in just a second. I do know that they changed the end location to New York, Philadelphia, as opposed to, I believe it was San Francisco in the first one, which is just an interesting choice, but you are still starting in Kansas City, which kind of makes sense. But I always figured Great Western Trail meant you were going west. So I really don't understand why they took it to New York. But anyways, you can see that the artwork is nicely done. Some people have complained that the path spaces here are not as obvious as on the original board, but I kind of like it. It's not overbearing, but there's a lot of, you know, just cute scenery in the background. A lot of this is going to be covered up by buildings, so I don't think it matters too much. And we just give this a little push here. You can see what the remainder of the board looks like.
I'm running into other stuff on my table there.
All right, so, whoops.
I had another box in the way.
All right, there you go. So there is the full board. It's not really a huge board. It's only a 4-fold as opposed to a 6-fold board that we see a lot of times today. So it's only 4 of your kind of standard size pieces. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the board.
Now this right here, hopefully it looks like there's a little bit of warping in them. That seems to be very commonplace these days, and I don't know if it's just my environment, live in a very humid climate, or if it's just happening with everybody's boards. Hopefully we can flatten them out, but this is probably the one upgrade that people are most excited about, and these are the dual layer player boards here with, you know, slots for your tokens, slots to hold everything, slots to hold some markers. So really love it when they throw in player boards. You can see there is, you know, some flex there though, so we're gonna try and put something heavy on these. And they all appear to be, yeah, they're all the same color, so there's not any difference even graphically. Oh no, there is. So these right here, these slots right here, yellow, white, blue, and red, are the differences in colors. Okay. So there are the player boards. This is for the solo mode, but this one too, even, this one's nice and flat, is a dual layer board, which is really nice. All right. And what seems to be a decent insert here, lots of little nooks and crannies to hold everything, which is nice. They didn't just give us an insert with a couple big wells to store stuff in. Let's just check underneath here. No. I blame Ryan Lockett for my propensity to always check underneath of the trays. All right, but we've got some plastic hats, which are fun. Let's see if these actually do fit on top of the cowboys here. Look very funny without their plastic hats. So here's one of the Meeples with this big long square head. But if we take him here, we can see that, boop, there you go. His hat fits right on, and he looks much better with his hat on. So there is the hat in action, and a whole bunch of other markers, which again are held in place by those dual layer player boards. We've got some bags, again, 1, 2, 3. These are nice, like cotton. I don't really know my fabrics, but they got a nice feel to them. They feel thematic. Scorecard, all right, and a place for the scorecard sits there in the bottom. And then we have some of these. So let's take a quick look at these. Again, I don't know 100% how the deck building works, but I do know that it's surrounding your cattle and upgrading your cattle deck and what you have in front of you. But let's just take a look at some of the artwork here. So there's a shorthorn, longhorn, classic, the Black Angus, Corriente, a Galloway. That looks like a cross between a cow and a sheep. Lots of Galloways, Piney Woods, Santa Gertrudis, Cirillo, Criollo, and that's it. That's it for that. So this is literally just a huge stack of cards, and I believe this is going to be some more cattle cards, along with there should be about 15 solo AI cards and some objective cards, which I believe we are seeing on the top. So if I could get past the plastic, we will take a look at this. If I can get past the plastic is the key. Maybe, maybe not. All right. So I believe these are the solo cards, because I'm pretty sure there's 15 of them. So let's set those off to the side. These, I believe, are some objective cards. The symbology means something, I'm sure, but not much to me. I'm guessing these are victory points at the end of the game. So a whole bunch of objective cards, actually. And then we have the cementals, and these, I believe, have some unique artwork. So the short horns were like all the same artwork, no matter what the number was, but the cementals here have, this looks like a calf, and then I think they're going to get older here. Yeah. So we got bigger and older, and then let's see what the 5 looks like. Yeah. Big mama. 5s and Hereford. So I believe these go with those. And a short horn, a couple short horns. Randomly thrown in there. Alright, so that's all the cows. Don't quite fit all on one side. We saw the objective cards. Again, I can't speak intelligently as to what those are showing us. But then we have the solo AI cards. And again, unfortunately, I cannot speak super intelligently as to what all this is telling you to do, but it appears that there is, you know, something they gain and then a choice they make on the bottom. And what this looks like is whether they are, because I'm pretty sure they gave you that specialization token. So I think at the beginning of the game, they're going to specialize in one of these 3 areas. Whether that's random or you get to choose, who knows. But just from looking at these cards, it looks like you're going to do the top action here, and then if you're yellow, if your focus is on the yellow here, or if your focus is on the blue or the pink there. Just looking at the next card here, it's kind of the opposite. Yeah. So it means that the actions are going to be slightly different depending on what the AI's focus is, which is nice. That means you can kind of play 3 different ways, and some of these are very straightforward, but that's fine too. You don't want the AI to always have these amazingly constructive turns. So there you go. That is a peek at the AI cards. Again, doesn't mean a whole lot to me, but we're going to learn. We're going to test it out, and we're going to post a playthrough on the channel. So if you are interested in seeing a playthrough of this, certainly please let me know in the comment section below, but please also consider subscribing to the channel so you can be notified when we do post that to YouTube. Once again, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Have a great night.